Hi, I'm Mac McCarthy, and I help people with their breakups. And today I have another breakup story to share. And if you have a breakup story you want to share, please visit writemac.com, WRITEMAC.com. Send your story in, and I could give you my take in a video just like this. If you have some comments for this individual, please put them down below. If you want to help them out or help others out, that'd be great. If you like this video, throw me a like. If you really like it, maybe you want to subscribe and see all the stories that get dropped on this channel, or check into one of my live streams that's actually going to occur in about 30 minutes. Otherwise, let's get into it. So, hey, Coach, been watching a bunch of your videos, live streams, etc. You're doing an amazing job. Well, thank you kindly. Thank you twice. Thank you 3 times. I really appreciate it. So here's my story. At the time, I am 36. She's 25. Good for you. That's a nice age gap. That's not too bad. You know, at 25, someone could be immature, or they could be just gaining their stride, getting into a career, moving forward. So, you know, 25 is a lot different than 21 or 20, right? That being said, an age gap of 11, 12 years from someone in their 20s and 30s, you know, at some point, in my experience, usually the odds are against you long term. That doesn't mean it doesn't work out. But usually something comes up in the gap, and it's a way of looking at things a lot of times. And what I mean by that, you might say a word that's not politically correct. This has come up a few times, and the individual just took it so literally, how should I say it? They took it in such a way that was so negative that you couldn't even understand where they were coming from. So, not saying this is the case, but LDR, so long distance relationship, 11-year age gap. You already have 2 hurdles right there. Can it work? Yes, it can, but the odds, again, are against you a little bit. Met a girl about 4 years ago. She had a boyfriend at the time. We became quickly very good and close friends. We would tell each other everything. She knows all about the girls I dated, liked back then, and she was telling me the ups and downs of her relationship, etc. We were texting, calling, FaceTiming every day. Okay, sounds good. Eventually, 2 years after we met, she broke up with her boyfriend. It was tough for her. So you're telling me that when you guys talked and all these things, she was actually in a relationship? I'm not saying you crossed the line, but the idea that she's talking to another guy, obviously you guys have stronger feelings than just friends, and she's with someone, history repeats itself. So if she's in a relationship with you in the future, what's to say she won't run that back again? People repeat their patterns. A few months after we started dating, and it was great. We dated for 5 months. Everything was going well, telling each other how much we loved each other. She even looked for job opportunities in my area, talked about getting married at some point. So all that's great. It's the beginning of the relationship. You guys have built up to a certain point, so it should be rose petals and wine glasses. And you're looking at opportunities and ways to live in the same city and live in the same town, and that's the whole goal in an LDR, long-distance relationship. There's got to be a finish line where you guys are living near each other. Then out of the blue, she ghosted me. Dun-dun. No returning my texts or phone calls. She would reply sometimes, but it was very distant and cold. At one point, I even sent her a message telling her that I am a grown man and that I got it. Well, what was your intentions in sending that message? If she ghosted you, and she left you hanging like that, why would you send her a message that you're a grown man and that you got it? Wished her good luck with her future and blocked her. Well, that's you taking back your power and going, she's ghosted me, she's not talking to me, I might as well move on and not be attached to her in any way. Yeah, that's what I do. I think I need to move on. I'm not sure what he meant there and what he wrote here. She had found a way to reach me through Instagram. We exchanged a few texts. Finally understood that distance was an issue. Well, if anyone out there is listening to this story right now, LDRs, long-distance relationships, have a shelf life. They actually, 80 to 90% of the time, someone meets someone else or just gets sick of the distance. It happens. It's going to happen. The time that it happens in, I'm not sure. But if it's 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, again, you're elevating the odds of it happening each month, each year, because people need physical contact when they're in a relationship. So he writes 75-minute drive. So if it was 75 minutes, that's not bad. That's not as long a distance as most people are dealing with. It just depends on your schedules and who's going out of their way for who. So this is also something that creates an issue. Who's really making an effort? And then on the other end is the other person matching that effort. And that I wasn't putting in enough effort. I just read this right now. I swear to you. She would come over most of the time. A few days later, she noticed I hadn't blocked her, but texted me that people don't play games with me. I was like, fine. 2 weeks later, she added me back on Facebook, waited a couple days before I accepted her request. Yeah, these little games that you're playing back and forth, at what point do you want to play these games? Slowly started talking again, but you could see that there was a distance between us. One reason was me keeping a distance, afraid of getting ghosted and hurt again. Well, if you're going into a relationship, you're revisiting something, and you're afraid of getting hurt or ghosted, it's probably not a good relationship to re-enter. You need to throw your cards on the table right from the get-go and go, look, if we're going to do this, let's do it. Let's be upfront about it, and let's really make an effort rather than going to it kind of half-ass and then playing these games where you're kind of going, well, I don't want to get hurt again, so if she does this, I'll do this. Be upfront. Go, hey, look, why did you ghost me? Why did you stop talking to me? I need to know this for us to move forward. This is a particular situation that's very clear-cut in when you use the term ghost and someone just disappears, it creates an open loop in the story, and it'll drive you fucking nuts. So you need to get to the bottom of that. But still, we kept communicating, and it was nice. A few weeks later, for my birthday, she posted a very nice message on Facebook page and DM me saying that she loved me. Okay. I told her thanks and that I loved her as well. Following week, she sent me a sarcastic video message saying, I don't care that you don't talk to me anymore and you're ignoring me. That's very immature. And it's one of those things, she's trying to get your attention. She's trying to put you in her frame. And that's the kind of relationship you got to ask yourself, do you want to play that game? But I hope you're doing fine and that everything is all right. Since I was still in love with her, I started replying more. It was fun. She was starting to flirt with me again. I was very happy. But then after a couple months, after my birthday, we got in a fight. And I can't remember what the fight was about. So the fight didn't really matter to you about what it was about. It didn't hold a lot of weight. That means it was probably something petty. Lasted about 43 seconds, so back to square one. After that, for 3 months, we were just casually chatting, nothing more. Then she invited me to a Christmas party we had organized one the year before and asked that we did it again that year. I accepted. While we were planning the party, she told me she was seeing someone, but they were taking it slowly. So if this came out of nowhere for you, this is clarity 101. This is you going, all right, it hurts, it stung, kind of like a bee. It's not a slap in the face because you're not really officially together. But she's basically playing a game with you again. Oh, are you mad? Does that affect you? Are you upset that I'm talking to someone? Why would she throw that out at a Christmas party? And that's your cue right there to go, okay, I'm cool, I'm done. The question is, do you want to be long-distance friends now or friends with benefits? She obviously likes to keep her options open. She asked me if I preferred not to come to the party because of that. She knew I still had feelings for her. I told her that I was fine with going to the party and organized everything together. Well, if you honestly weren't, then there would be nothing wrong with you going, you know what, I'm out. So I went, everything went smoothly, met the guy, even cooked with him, sang some Bon Jovi in his pickup truck on the way to the party. Yeah, I'm that cool. Well, I mean, if you're doing it with the hopes of being cooperative with her, that's fine. And you met a new friend and you connected with the guy and you thought the guy was a cool guy. But I mean, at what point does it still, you go home empty-handed, you go home without the girl that you have feelings for, and you meet some guy that she's with now and you go, wow, cool dude. I don't see you guys being able to continue, having that back and forth, or let's meet up for lunch and she brings the new guy she's talking to. Probably helped that he didn't know I had dated his girl before. Well, she told you, party was fun after we went back to her place. Me and her talked for a bit. Then he went to bed because he had to work the next morning. So we stayed up and talked until 6 a.m. Okay, you're in a friend zone. So this is the second time she's gotten a guy and she's made you a third wheel and your guys are talking long talks. That's fine, but just be completely clear with yourself. She looks at you as a friend. She's not attracted to you and taking the next step. The idea that you guys can talk that late at night, that's great. It's friends, though. It was great to have time to talk and see each other again. She went to bed with her man. I went to sleep in the living room. Nothing happened. No kiss, no nothing. And why should something happen? I mean, that's a red flag if you even mention that, because that was in the back of your head that maybe you guys can hook up. Maybe you were getting some brownie points. She's with someone else. She's been with someone else before where you had these long talks. You're a friend. and you're a friend that she likes having around, that she can talk to, and she knows you're interested in her, and it makes her feel good. And you get left holding the bag, man. Next, she drives me home. She told her boyfriend, asked her how come she stayed up so late, and did we talk about it? He wasn't too happy about that. I told her, yeah, he seemed to like me better yesterday, so she dropped me home. Yeah, I mean, but if I was a guy and I'm talking to a woman, or she's my girlfriend and she stayed up all night till 6 a.m. talking to a guy that wasn't gay, I obviously am going to feel like that guy was putting some work in. Gave each other a warm hug. That was it. And let me rewind to that. That's on her. She's in a relationship right now. Her responsibility is to her behavior to that guy. She should have more respect for him than to have a conversation with someone till 6 a.m. and then make it awkward for both you and the guy, right? The guy liked you yesterday. He thought he was just meeting a friend, and then he realizes you guys stayed up all night talking. After we were texting a little more, she would sometimes send me hints that she was missing me, being intimate with me, but I would not give into that because of the other guy. Again, she's cat-pawing you. She's in complete control of this ride, and it's not a good position for you to be in, because at any given moment, she could stop talking to you again, or she can call you up and give you hope. But I don't think she's serious about working towards a serious relationship in the future with you. That lasted until March, when she texted me, tell me it was over with the guy. Now you're the backup plan. It was late at night, so we would call each other soon to talk about it. Then 2 weeks went by, no text, again, distance. I noticed that she added her ex from before on my Facebook. So she's just lily-padding around. That time I was like, fuck that, tired of being pulled in and pushed away, so I blocked her. Good for you. Take your power back. Ask yourself, I'm not going to be a victim. I'm not going to complain about this. I'm just going to block her, move forward, get my shit on deck, and start living my life. Get some goals, get some objectives that I have control over, and stop being available for an individual that's not really that into me, or not into me on the level that I am on a social media, so I can slowly move on and forget about her. 2 weeks later, I get a message from one of her friends telling me that she wanted me to call her and gave me her phone number. At that point, you're done. You're moving forward. You don't want to be tugged back in. I just ignored the message request. All good, no contact at all. For 3.5 months. Then yesterday, I get a notification she started following me on my second Instagram account. Dun, dun, dun. An account I opened in air, not following, no followers, no posts, did not follow back, and her account is private, so here we are. Why is she always coming back? Well, it's something, she doesn't like to be alone, it sounds like. She's a bit needy. She's a bit clingy. She's got you in the background as basically a backup plan. You could be friends with benefits with an individual like this, but I don't think you can get into a long-term, lasting relationship. And at 25, she's playing the field a little bit, but she's definitely not serious about getting back with you long-term. People tell you who they are by their actions. Should I contact her? No, is my short answer. She misses me, I guess, maybe still loves me. I mean, again, what's love mean to you and what's love mean to her? Love to her is staying up to 6 a.m. as friends while her new boyfriend's in the other room. Love to her is hitting you up after not talking to you for 3 weeks or a month or 2 weeks or 3 months now. Honestly, I still do love her, but the breakup was tough on me. Obviously, I need to work on myself before we get in touch again. Well, if you feel like you need to work on yourself, it's an easy answer not to talk to her. Don't want her to see me, diminished version of me. What do you think, Coach? Thanks a lot. Sorry, my English is not perfect. Well, it's pretty damn close. I get a lot of letters, and this is something that's comprehensive and understandable. So kudos to you on that point. Move forward on this one. If you're okay with being friends with benefits and just seeing her on and off, then fine. Then that'd put you in the driver's seat because you don't have any expectations. But unfortunately, you like her more than she likes you, simply put. And in that situation, she's always going to rule the relationship. She's going to turn the on switch on when she wants you and the off switch off when she doesn't. And that's a bad position to be in. So whatever these areas are that you need to work on yourself, identify them, put in the work, read a couple books. The Rational Male by Rollo Tomassi, Models by Mark Manson, The Tactical Guide to Women by Sean Smith. Start doing a little research on things, okay? So I hope that helps you. If you'd like to take this a step further, book a live coaching session. We can unpack this, dig some roots, get to the bottom of this a little deeper. Otherwise, everyone else out there, thank you for supporting the channel.